Welcome back to Reliable Sources. Now, for the last 10 days, I've been covering the Charlie Hebdo attack and its publication of Prophet Muhammad cartoons right here on CNN without being able to actually show the cartoons. Now, I understand the network's decision, but it is a weird position to be in. And it's not just here at CNN, it is all across the global media. So what happens when satire turns gravely serious? Because the attacks on that magazine and the subsequent outpouring of support for press freedom and freedom of expression demonstrated the incredible power of cartooning. We saw these images this time last week. And this cartoon I'm about to show you is the perfect representation of the internal debate that many of us here in the media have struggled over about showing this cartoon. It says, "I have to draw him." And it was drawn by my next guest right here, Elie Vallee. I think I mispronounced your name. Tell me how to say it.
Actually good.
Oh, good. Okay. He's the cartoonist whose cartoon I Have to Draw Him was recently published in The Atlantic. And also joining me in LA, comedian Maz Jobrani. Appreciate you both being here. Let me start with you right here on set. Tell me what you were going after with that image. I have to draw him.
Yeah.
What were you trying to say?
Well, I have to draw him only because my brethren were murdered. Normally, drawing Muhammad is not like a thing I need to do. But when I see, mass murder on the basis of free speech, I'm compelled to do so. And so I wanted to draw him to show solidarity.
But take me through the series of frames here. We're not going to show all of them, but basically what you were trying to express was, I have to draw him, but I can't.
Yeah, I can't because I'm afraid of being dead. That was sort of a satirical trope, I mean, I think everyone's afraid. The fear is pervasive based on what's going on today. Those who are drawing Muhammad are also afraid, but their way of reacting to the fear is like sticking their finger in the eye of the, the censors, essentially. Mine was a little bit more sad, serious satire on how, sad, serious satire on how, sorry, my mind just went blank.
Maybe how difficult this is. Because I'm wondering if
the
there's
haggling.
ever...
Sorry, I just want to say, it's like when you're begging someone, can I draw just an eye, just an eyelash? It gets into the absurdity of the whole.
So show us your last frame here.
Yeah, I know. CNN's not showing.
You can hold it up to the camera,
thing,
though.
But
your point was you were just trying to show an eyeball. You were just trying to ask, can I show an eyeball, is your question.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
I don't know if this is going to be, unacceptable by CNN standards or by international standards when you're just showing half an eye. It's only half an eye, so.
Well, and the point by that is, what is it, who is it, how do we know if it's the Prophet Muhammad? I mean,
exactly.
When the cover was shown on Wednesday, until the magazine Charlie Hebdo's editor said, yes, we are trying to portray the Prophet Muhammad, there was even uncertainty about what they were trying to do. But let me ask you this, and actually let me go to Maz first, out in LA. Has there ever been a time like this with any other topic, any other joke? Is there anything off limits like this?
For me as a stand-up comedian, the first thing I was saying is that we need to kind of step back and look at the guys who went and did this. They were criminals, and it's not somebody. It wasn't a common Muslim that went in and did this. So the question becomes, what was their strategy? And I think that there was political strategies beyond them just saying we're offended by the images of the Prophet Muhammad. And when you ask, have there been times like this before? As a stand-up, I look at just 50, 60 years ago, somebody like Lenny Bruce being arrested for things he was saying on stage. He wasn't killed, but he was arrested. There was censorship. I myself, during the beginning of the Iraq War, I was doing jokes about President Bush in comedy clubs, and there was times when during my set, people would scream out at me and say, you can't make fun of the commander-in-chief during a time of war. And I had to remind them that that was the whole point of this country, the beauty of this country, that we're supposed to be able to say what we want to say. And we were at that, we started that war with the pretense that we're bringing democracy to Iraq, and then yet here these people were telling me that I couldn't express my own freedom of speech, which is part of democracy. So there has been censorship, and there are people that are sensitive to topics, and so I just want to point that out, that we can't just criticize and say, oh, it's only Muslims that get offended, because we get offended as well.
That's a fair point, and I want to turn back to you as well. Is there anything else that you ever chosen not to draw? Is this the only thing like it?
I mean, in terms of red lines with satire, I think the general rule is, and something I agree with, on a general basis, you should be punching up, not punching down. If there's a commander in a concentration camp making caricatures of the prisoners, that's not really funny because he's mocking the powerless, And so you try to go after the powerful. I mean, there's some question with Charlie Hebdo. Some people were saying, well, they're mocking people who were North African immigrants in France, and so they're actually going after the powerless. But I look at it from a different perspective. I look at it from the larger context of Muslim fundamentalism today. They had their office firebombed. They were bringing a pen and a brush to a gunfight, and so that's actually punching up, in my opinion.
Elliot, thanks for being here. Maz, thank you as well. I appreciate your time today.